High five, guys! It's 25, that is 25. Yes, guys, a silver jubilee episode of IdeasKiPathshala. And this journey started with a very simple purpose. Boss, जो भी content बनाया है और लोगों तक share करने का. And fortunately, this channel has reached over 6,000 views, has more than 700 likes and around 250 to 300 shares, and all the credit goes to each one of you. हर बार जब content upload किया है आप लोग ने देखा है. Cheers guys, cheers to all of you.
After watching episode 24, Priya shared about the milk bag project, and Mr. Subramaniam from Kerala shared pictures of how he turned kitchen waste into biogas, and Mrs. Padma and Mr. Subramaniam, my parents, shared how to make an eco brick using dry plastic waste. And thank you Nandini Vivek for sharing about Recharka, researching which led us to 5R cycle. You can support 5R financially and by conducting collection drives.
Last two episodes we looked at the problem of waste from multiple dimensions. One is from cleaning the mess which is already being done. The second is of preventing the mess from happening by going zero waste or by segregating in the right way. And today's episode is very special. It's a toast to all the social innovators, all those guys who respect this wonderful biodiversity. This disposable item is a necessity, but it's a real pain for women and nature because it is 90% plastic. It is such a sensitive and personal topic that I was told not to create a video on this. Because of so much cultural taboo, stigma and lack of knowledge and hygiene facilities, 23 million girls drop out of school annually. Here is a low-profile social entrepreneur from Salem, Tamil Nadu who has broken all norms, who has been spreading knowledge, has provided hygiene to rural girls, provided employment to illiterate women, and has made this hazardous waste earth-friendly. Let's put our hands together for this eco-warrior, the founder of Rebelle Pads, Mrs. Malinee.
Thank you so much, and it's my pleasure to be with you today. I think somewhere in the beginning of 2016, I was facing some issues myself with my periods, more of my age. So one of them gave me a very interesting story from her life. She said she had the same problem and she had visited more than 2-3 gynacs. Many tests were taken. Every test report is normal, but the problem isn't solved. So one of her friends referred her to another gynac also. That lady saw all the reports. She said, don't go for any other further test because you've done more than enough and everything is okay. Only thing I'll suggest you is switch to homemade cloth pads and see if you can find some relief. Though she was not very convinced with the suggestion, she thought, okay, let me try this. And believe me or not, Savita, within few months of switching to the cloth pad, she found herself totally relieved of the problem. So she suggested me the same thing. Malinee, I think you should be doing this before going anywhere. And I was totally relieved of the problem. And I was amazed. Then I thought I should be spreading this word of goodness to everyone, because why should everyone get into some problem in the later stage of life and then come back to this old practice?
Correct.
And I started researching a lot about cloth pads and the conventional pads that's available in the market, and I was so alarmed to read what was being used, how were they being made, and what are all the health hazards these pads could cause for the young girls. PCOD, PCOS, fibroids. Remember the water clogging in Mumbai?
Yes.
And how Chennai suffered in the floods.
Correct.
Much of it was associated with the clogged drains.
Clogged drains,
and
correct.
the most important factor for this was these sanitary pads, which were flushed in the toilet and they were not disposed properly. Single plastic pad takes about 600 to 800 years to decompose. At least we should be offering them a product which will not harm the reusable cloth napkins.
Right.
And they were exorbitantly priced.
Okay.
They were sold in singles. They were not, the shape was not very convincing for me. As a woman, I will design. Luckily for me, my husband is from a textile background, so I discussed this with him, sourcing different varieties of fabric with different textures, thickness, and then We hired 2 people who got it stitched. I gave away samples to my friends, family. All these inputs which I have taken, I designed. It is not this conventional yes type. It's a unique bell shape.
Correct.
And I suggest that when you use it in the morning, you keep the broader side in the front. Because as you sit, stand, walk, the discharge that comes out tends to move in the front.
Okay.
Right? But when you're going to change your pad and sleep over in the night, keep the broader side at the back. Then it involves a lot of manual labor. You have to hold the pad, stick the gun, and then stick the paper. Button on the crotch area of the pant is they completely seal the entire sides of your panties. So absolutely there is no strain on the panties. Because all class napkins I found then were like heavy, medium, and one same size. The length, breadth, everything. I said, this is not going to serve everyone in the same way. So I said, no, we will have 3 sizes because every flow is, it's different in the first initial days.
Correct.
And then towards the end of the cycle, it is scanty. So why should people go and buy different size of pads for one size? We will give them both in one pack. And old clothes, either the sari or the dhoti or a towel, whatever, which was used, reused, get roughened and picked. Am I right?
Okay.
So probably many of them had this, oh no, I was not very comfortable with cloth. I decided none of the fabric in Rebelle will be a lot fabric. Lot fabric is just going and buying from the market right away. Now what we do is we buy the yarn, we get it processed in our known units to our specifications. See, PUL is one coating which is globally approved for diapers and sanitary pads.
Okay.
Or leak-proof.
All right.
It's a coating on a fabric. The fabric can be anything. We are using only 100% pure cotton. My son stepped in. He took some time to study, and he asked me one very intriguing question. He told me, Mama, if I were a girl, I am your target.
Right.
Right? So how do you think I will be convinced to straight away use a pad that has to be washed and reused? I have never got exposed to these things in my life before. So even though it is good, do you think it is practically possible for me to do that way? I may be in a hostel, I may be working, I may be in a PG, or I may have my own constraints of time, space, and water.
Absolutely.
So, when all these constraints are there, how do you think young girls will come into your fold? So, do you wish to cater only to those women who are ready for a reuse habit? Because you should be thinking about reaching it to the young girls. You should be working something towards single use. Okay. So, once again, start from the scratch. What to do?
Correct.
So, that's how we got into this plant-based biodegradable
Okay.
which is the leak-proof layer we have in the single-use pads.
Single-use.
So he asked me, so what? You're going to give single-use pads. Okay, then how do they dispose? I said, what? How do they dispose? They will take some paper and they will wrap it and dispose. That's how we have all done. Okay, you were all at home, you were all at, school, probably a girls' school. You didn't find it difficult to do it. Today, many girls are working. Many of us are in a co-education school.
Correct.
So how do you think they will go in search of a paper every time they want to change a pad? Don't you think this is the most disrespectful thing you're doing to them? You're giving them the pads alone and not the disposable cover. I was like, what do you mean? You mean I should provide them with everything? He says, yes. If you have to make them enjoy comfortable periods, your kit should be complete. We should be branding, we should be visible in the media.
Correct.
And if you really wish to help the young girls, you should be doing this. I took the biggest risk. I said yes. We spent some money. We took help from the family.
Okay.
And we branded. We launched it in the name of Rebelle about 19 months back.
Okay.
Probably that's why I chose the name Rebelle, reusable.
Right.
And to break the myth that cloth is not comfortable, I told him was zero plastic. So this is how, one by one, that's what I told you. We have evolved as a brand for 2. All my employees are women. Few of them are even illiterate, Savita. They cannot I read and write. Very happy, Savita, to tell you I have so many customers like you thanking me profoundly, telling me it's been an awesome experience using your pads, ma'am. Be washed once and then wrapped and thrown, because don't throw it right away like that. It causes lot of bacterial relative. She will have to open that paper, find out what it is, and throw it in the respective bin.
Correct.
Which is, I think, the unkindest thing you can do to another. It's like, heavy flow or irregular, PCOD, scanty, whatever. They are very much, they can, text me or ask the question in the comment section. I'll be very happy to answer. Even if I don't have the right answer, I can put them to the right person who can answer the question and give them the simplest solution instead of, heavy medications or.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Savita.
Thank you so much, Malinee, for this
flashback for me to go back to my initial days of how I started. It's a long time since I've